The Saudi royal family, or House of Saud, is worth over $1.4 trillion thanks to oil wealth and major investments. Known for their lavish spending, they've bought everything from gold-plated cars to entire football clubs. Here are the top 10 craziest things they've purchased. At number 10, we've got the diamond-covered Mercedes-Benz. This insane purchase belongs to Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, one of the richest Saudi royals with a net worth that once peaked around $20 billion. Back in the early 2000s, he decided that a regular luxury car just wasn't enough. So he took a Mercedes-Benz and had it covered with over 300,000 Swarovski crystals. Not diamonds exactly, but sparkly enough to catch the attention of everyone who saw it. This shimmering beast was first revealed at the Dubai Auto Show to mark Mercedes-Benz's 50th anniversary, and honestly, it's more like a jewel on wheels than a car. Nobody's quite sure how often Prince Al-Walid actually drives this thing or if it ever sees the road at all, but it made waves across the globe the moment it was unveiled. The car became a symbol of how far the Saudi royals are willing to go to personalize their luxury. Next up at number 9 is Prince Turki bin Abdullah's wild gold-plated car collection. And no, we're not talking about 1 or 2 cars, we're talking about a whole fleet, with a total estimated value of around $22 million. This collection includes a gold-plated Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe, a gold-wrapped Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, a shimmering Lamborghini Aventador Superveloce, and even a Bentley, all either fully covered in gold vinyl or decked out with gold-plated features. You might think that's more than enough, but for Prince Turki, it seems like there's no such thing as too much gold. These cars became famous almost overnight, especially when they were spotted cruising through the streets of London and Dubai. That said, not everyone was clapping. The over-the-top gold collection sparked plenty of backlash too, especially from people critical of the royal family's excessive lifestyle in contrast to everyday Saudis facing economic pressure. Speaking of pressure, at number 8 we have King Salman bin Abdulaziz and his eye-popping Moroccan summer palace, a personal escape that's worth over $100 million. Tucked away near Cape Spartel in Tangier, Morocco, this palace stretches across a massive 74-acre estate. Now, most people might think of a vacation home as a nice villa by the beach or a cozy chalet in the mountains, but for King Salman, a summer palace is basically a private kingdom. Before 2016, the place was already lavish, but that year it underwent massive renovations. We're talking new helipads, brand new luxury restaurants, private medical facilities, and even a giant tent used for entertaining high-profile guests. It's an entire luxury compound designed for comfort, security, and royal-level hospitality. When the king visits Morocco, this is where he stays, and it has hosted everything from political meetings to family gatherings. The palace also reflects how the Saudi royal family sees the world as their playground. Morocco is a friendly ally to Saudi Arabia, and this kind of royal presence only deepens that relationship. Next at number 7 is a London mansion that looks like it fell out of a period drama, The Home. Even the name sounds fancy. Tucked inside London's Regent's Park, this 40-bedroom mansion is what you'd get if you mashed up a palace with a 5-star hotel and added a sprinkle of don't ask how much it costs. Spanning over 29,000 square feet and surrounded by nearly 4 acres of lush landscaped gardens, the home is more of an estate than a house. Prince Khaled bin Sultan Al Saud owned it for years, and if the name sounds familiar, it's because he's a senior royal with a reputation for military leadership and real estate investments. The mansion is a literal stone's throw from the London Zoo and the US ambassador's residence. It was listed for a jaw-dropping £250 million in 2023, but eventually sold in 2025 for £138.9 million, still making it one of the biggest property deals in London history. Next up at number 6, and still staying with the mansion purchases, we head to France, where Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman took things to another level of royal fantasy. Chateau Louis XIV, located in Louveciennes just outside Paris. It looks historical, but it was only completed in 2011. It's a brand new, ultra-luxurious imitation of a 17th century French chateau, built from scratch with every modern amenity imaginable, all dressed up in old-world glam. From crystal chandeliers, gold leaf on ceilings, elaborate frescoes, and Versailles-style fountains. The place has 10 bedrooms, a grand reception room with a 52-foot ceiling, a private cinema, both indoor and outdoor pools, and even a moat. But the craziest part is that the moat includes an underwater chamber where sturgeon swim in glass tanks. MBS reportedly bought this mansion for $300 million in 2015, using a maze of shell companies in France and Luxembourg to keep his name out of the headlines until it eventually leaked in 2017. the timing was awkward. Just as news of the purchase emerged, MBS was rounding up hundreds of Saudi elites in a massive anti-corruption crackdown back home. Many of them were held at the Ritz-Carlton in Riyadh and pressured to give up billions in assets. Moving to football at number 5, because when the Saudi royals get into sports, they don't just sponsor a team or buy a box at a stadium, they buy the entire club. That's exactly what happened in October 2021 when the Saudi Public Investment Fund, or PIF, chaired by MBS, bought an 80% stake in Newcastle United for £300 million, about $408 million. This wasn't just another team getting a rich owner, this was a geopolitical power move disguised as a sports deal. The purchase sent shockwaves through the Premier League, with fans split between excitement and ethical concerns. On one hand, Newcastle fans were thrilled. Their club had been struggling under previous ownership, and the Saudis brought deep pockets and ambition. Big-name players started joining, and the team's fortunes began to change. On the other hand, critics raised red flags. The deal was widely seen as part of a broader sports-washing strategy, using high-profile sports investments to clean up the kingdom's image and distract from its human rights record. However, buying Newcastle fits neatly into the Vision 2030 plan to diversify the Saudi economy, build a new global image, and turn the country into a hub for sport and entertainment. Next up at number 4 is perhaps the most surreal and mysterious of all their purchases, is the world's most expensive painting, Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi. In 2017, the painting was sold at a Christie's auction in New York for $450 million. $450 million for a painting, and the buyer was officially a little-known Saudi prince acting as a proxy, but reports later confirmed that the real buyer was none other than Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman himself. The painting, a haunting image of Christ holding a crystal orb, was supposed to be displayed at the Louvre, Abu Dhabi. That never happened. Instead, the painting vanished. Rumors flew. Some said it was stored in a Swiss vault. Others believed it was hidden aboard MBS's yacht. Wherever it is, one thing is clear: the painting has become less of a masterpiece and more of a myth. Speaking of yachts, back in 2014, MBS stunned everyone when he quietly spent $550 million to purchase the Serene from Russian vodka billionaire Yuri Shefler. This wasn't your average luxury yacht. It's a 439-foot floating $500 million fortress built by the famed Italian shipyard Fincantieri. The yacht is dripping in extravagance. There are multiple swimming pools, a helipad, a private submarine tucked neatly into the lower deck, a state-of-the-art cinema, and room for 24 VIP guests and 52 crew members. Inside, it's basically a palace on water. Gold accents line the walls, marble floors glisten under crystal chandeliers, and original artworks hang in near silence. Before it was snatched up by the prince, the Serene had been rented by billionaires like Bill Gates for $5 million per week. Yes, per week. That should give you a sense of how out of this world this vessel really is. But in 2017, the yacht ran aground and suffered significant damage. Not that MBS would be too bothered. He's got oil money after all. Now, if the yacht wasn't insane enough, at number 2 is the Al Yamama Palace in Riyadh. This is no ordinary royal residence. It's the beating heart of the Saudi monarchy, and it is absolutely massive. Built back in 1983 for King Salman bin Abdulaziz, the palace cost over $600 million at the time, and that's not even counting the decades of maintenance and upgrades that followed. The palace sprawls over 4 million square feet, which is roughly the size of 70 football fields. Inside, the details are astonishing. Italian marble lines the floors, chandeliers the size of small cars hang from hand-carved ceilings, and golden accents gleam from every corner. There's a private mosque, a fully equipped cinema, a bowling alley, indoor and outdoor swimming pools, and rooms full of priceless antiques. The palace grounds are landscaped, and security is tight. At number 1 is something even more outrageous than a palace or a yacht: the Airbus A380. When it was initially made, it was supposed to become the world's first and only flying palace. This sky-high fantasy belonged to Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, the billionaire investor often dubbed the Warren Buffett of the Middle East. In 2007, he placed an order for the largest passenger plane on Earth, the Airbus A380, and then took it to a whole other level with customizations that would make even the Sultan of Brunei raise an eyebrow. This wasn't going to be just another luxury jet. Prince Al-Walid planned for the aircraft to include a marble-lined Turkish bath, a garage for his Rolls-Royces, a concert hall with a baby grand piano, a prayer room with electronically aligned mats that pointed to Mecca no matter the plane's direction, and a sprawling lounge for mid-air relaxation. The whole thing would have cost around $600 million when you factor in the modifications. But he never even got to fly in it. In 2012, just a few years after placing the order, Al Walid sold the plane before it was even completed. So there you have it. Which of these purchases was the most insane? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out this video here.